Time now for terror as we talk to director Sam Raimi and actor Bruce Campbell about their sequel to The Evil Dead and The Evil Dead 2. Welcome the Medieval Dead as we focus on Army of Darkness in close-up.
Army of Darkness is the story of a terrible evil that has awakened in the year 1300 AD. And the evil knows that it is again time to walk and rule the earth. That is, if the character of mankind is weak enough to allow it to happen. To determine that, it has to test the mettle of man. So it chooses one common average man and brings him to this place. And it's really the story of a one man's character. Is he weak? If he is, the evil will know it is again time for it to rule. Or if he's strong of character and brave of heart, then it will know it must again sleep for a number of centuries, awaken at some later date. The ancient Sumerians created the Book of the Dead, Necronomicon Ex Mortis. And within it is a number of funerary incantations, burial rites. It's a book of do's and don'ts dealing with the deceased. This is the device by which our hero, Bruce Campbell, playing the role of Ash, is transported back to the year 1300 AD through the incantations contained in the Necronomicon.
Each Evil Dead film has changed, has become a different bird. Evil Dead 3 is a really strange, off-the-wall movie, even though it's a big kind of epic. And hopefully I think that'll get away from pigeonholing. I think people will be confused as to what I do. I've confused my agent, I think, now. He says, well, what, you know, agents love to hear this. What do you think that you are? I said, I'm a phony actor. I'm no different than any, I say lines or I'll shoot a gun if I have to, whatever. He says, but what do you see yourself doing? I said, I see myself acting. Well, acting in what exactly? Well, in movies. The funny thing is that you got to convince your agent as well as everybody else. But, so I look at it this way. We can always go raise money and make movies, and I can play strange doctors and scumbags and regular people.
Easy now, Chief. I don't know how I got here, and I'm not looking for any trouble.
What a piece of armor this is!
Wiseman!
Fall back, come on, all you men! Back on your horses, come on!
My lord, I believe he is the one written of in the Necronomicon. He who's prophesied to fall from the heavens and deliver us from the terrors of the Deadites.
What? That buffoon?
Likely. He's one of Henry's men!
Kneel,
I say, to the pit with him!
I shall soon learn the horrors of the pit!
With Evil Dead 2, when that came out, they wanted to make it look like it was a funny horror film. We thought, oh, fellas, please don't do that. If they find something oddly funny about it, that's great. But don't make them think it's a comedy, because we're going to get kids in there who are 4 years old and they're not going to understand what they're seeing. Marketing is a funky thing, because they want to get anybody they can into the theater. And I think we're sort of responsible as filmmakers to do our best we can to not mislead anybody.
Bruce is a knucklehead. He's got such an interesting face, I think. That extendo jaw of his and that Cro-Magnon eyebrow, that I just find him fascinating to watch on film. But he works so well for me on pictures because he's a great comedian. He's got a great sense of timing, like nobody I know. And he's got incredible physical coordination, so he can make almost anything happen. And more than anything, I think what the Evil Dead audience likes, or this Army of Darkness audience will like, is to see him abused repeatedly. They enjoy that very much, and we're trying to fulfill their needs.
But I think Sam just kind of monitors. He's like a quality control. You know, if he gets bored, then he'll step in, because he considers himself the ultimate film goer. He says he'll talk during takes. He'll just talk. He'll turn the camera on and just walk away basically, and we'll do a couple of takes, and I'll go, okay, now do it this way. And it's interesting, when the camera's rolling, everybody's on and they're up. Sometimes he'll keep the camera rolling to keep you awake. Because when you say cut, everyone goes, oh, okay, fine, they have a cigarette, they get a cup of coffee, and they all walk away. What Sam will do is he'll keep the camera rolling, go back to one, and you'll go back to the first position, and everybody's going, oh, they're looking for their props, and he throws curveballs to everybody. And it's good because on a long shoot, you can get lethargic and lazy, and you want to sit around in your chair and tell stories all the time.
So what's the deal? Can you send me back or not?
Only the Necronomicon has the power. An unholy book which we also require. Within its pages are passages that can send you back to your time. Only you, the promised one, can quest for it.
I'm an emergency room doctor in Ohio, and it's not a direct source of the writing, but sometimes little bits sneak through. I see a lot of blood and guts, but the monster blood and guts is a different color. Usually there's several shades, blue and green and orange and pink, and I see just standard red. But it helps, and I've used it some, but these movies don't have a direct medical theme.
When we write, there's never a shortage of ideas. I'm sure most writers feel the same way. It's all just a question of taking the incredible amount of ideas and selecting those which best suit the story or the character, and paring the ideas down in such a way so that they have an overall effect that is greater than the sum of the parts.
That one.
Groovy.
We got into the horror business because we thought, gee whiz, we're taking these people, we're taking their money. We have to get them their money back. What will make their money back? And at the time we thought, well, horror movies, that's it. And we thought, well, if we're going to make a horror movie, let's not fool around. Let's really give them blood and guts and give it to them right in the face. But they've always had a weird sort of aspect to them, and so we've been slowly kind of injecting horror into them. And so now we're going to try and extract the horror out of them and try making just a comedy.
For that arrogance, I shall see you dead.
Yeah. All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick. It's a 12-gauge double-barreled Remington. S-Mart's top of the line. You can find this in the sporting goods department. That's right, this sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for about $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right, shop smart. Shop S-Mart. You got that?
The humor comes from the contrasts of a 20th century man being brought to this place and time, and the contrast of their cultures and styles of speech and just their lifestyles in general and what they hold dear to them. Ash is a modern man. He's a man without honor. He's a man who has never had to stand up and fight for anything that he truly believes in, whereas these people in 1300 AD have a completely different code of honor, and Ash learns from them throughout our picture.
It's this grand sweeping, I call it an epic because Sam has a really good vision and he has a way of taking not that much money and making it look like more. And this is a good chance. It has very ridiculous slapstick sequences in it.
All of you!
It has romance. Ash, the character Ash, gets a girl for about a half an hour. And then you know what has to happen to them. And he leads armies and all kinds of things. So it gets beyond that woman screaming from the monster sort of role, which is good. I'm basically a loudmouth, ugly tourist in 1300 England. I'm the ugly American tourist.
This path will lead you to an unholy place. A cemetery. There the Necronomicon awaits. When thou retrievest the book from its cradle, you must recite the words, Clatu Verata Nictu.
Clatu Verata Nicto, okay.
Well, repeat them.
Clatu Verata Nicto.
Again!
I got it! I know your damn words, all right? Now you get this straight, the both of you. If I get that book, you send me back. After that, I'm history.
Sam made Evil Dead 1, and he had some other horror films, and he was influenced a lot by Brian De Palma and his horror films and the old English horror films, and I think that always stayed with him, and he always liked to scare people. He'd like to jump out at you, and I think if he can scare you or make you laugh, he really gets happy from that.
When my partners, Robert Tappert and Bruce Campbell, and myself decided to make our first feature film, it seemed like the safest thing to do, since we were dealing with private investors' money, was to make a picture that would play no matter how badly we made it. And of course, we were trying to make a high-quality horror picture. That was The Evil Dead, it was called. And, but we had to prepare for the worst-case scenario. And we knew that horror movies, no matter how bad they were, always seemed to be playing in the drive-ins. So we had never made a horror film before. However, we decided the best bet would be to make a horror picture if we really wanted it to get to the big screen. So we learned how to make a horror film. We had never been fascinated by them before that. After we made The Evil Dead, I became more interested in studying horror films, and now I do have a great appreciation for some of the finer ones that were made in the 30s and 40s, some of the craftsmanship that went into them. I find them very interesting as a director. I find horror films very interesting as a director because it's a place where you have to bring the supernatural to the screen. And the supernatural is not something that exists in our world, or probably doesn't. So it gives the filmmaker a chance to employ interesting filmic techniques to create what doesn't exist. You can play with camera technique. It's a good chance to experiment with lighting effects. And you can be very creative in the use of sound effects, for instance, trying to create a world that doesn't exist, or give the audience the information they need so that they can create a world that doesn't exist.
Well, seems fairly obvious. Ooh, wait a minute. The words. Right. Say the words. Clatu, Verata, necktie, nectar, nickel. Noodle. It's an N-word. It's definitely an N-word. It's definitely an N-word. Clatu, Verata, Okay then. That's it. Hey, wait a minute. Everything's cool. I said the word.
Seek your children! Steady the horses! Something's wrong. Something's amiss.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm on vacation now. You know, it became a life work. After 100 days, it's as though I've never made any other film. You know, it was just that. That's what I do. I felt like I was on a television show. I mean, and not like that. It was not mundane or repetitious like that. It just felt like that's what I do for my life as I play Ash. But it was okay. Everybody held up pretty well.
The Necronomicon, quickly. Did you bring the Necronomicon?
Yeah, it's just that...
Just what?
Nothing. Here. Now send me back, like in the deal.
When you removed the Necronomicon from the cradle, did you speak the words?
Yeah, basically.
Did you speak the exact words?
Look, maybe I didn't say every single little tiny syllable, no, but basically I said them, yeah.
Dung-eating fool! Thou hast doomed us all! When thou misspoke the words, the army of the dead awoke.
Now, whoa, right there, Spinach Chin. You said that you could clean this mess up once you got that book. You said there was a passage in there that could get rid of this thing and send me back.
It's true, the book still possesses the power to send you back, but to us, it is useless. The evil has a terrible hunger for the Necronomicon, and it will come here to get it.
We had a deal. You wanted the damn book. I got it for you. I did my part. Now you send me back.
Very well. As we are men of our word, we shall honor our bargain. The wise men shall return you to your own time.
Yeah?
I thought he was the one.
Yeah, right, because that was the deal. So, when do you think we can start with all the thing in the... You know, of course. When do you think we can start with all the ceremony and, you know, like... You know, because sooner is always better than later, right?
Wretched excuse for a man.
It's like an extension of being a kid and playing when you're a kid. This is a way to play and to stay together over thousands of miles, whereas otherwise we might visit like brothers do once or twice a year, if that. And now we spend incredible amounts of time together. It's fun, but we sit together so long and we butt heads and butt fists, and it's mostly a lot of fun. And I think that's why I do it, because it's a blast. Because we get together well and have fun when we get together.
No, I don't feel like I'm a director with a cult following. I just write these stories with my brother or other writers the best I can, and then go about directing them, trying to make them as visually exciting and interesting and fun as possible. And I hope in general that the audience likes them. I'm certainly making it for the audience. The real reason I love movies is to get a good response from the audience. Because if they love a moment, then I'm alive at that moment, in the back of the audience. And if they hate a moment, then I curl up into a little ball and suffer 1,000 deaths.
Hey! What's the big idea of taking a bite?
Take a bite. Why, you? Ooh, I'm blind. I'm blind.
Where are you taking me?
Don't you cry, please. Just come from Alabama. Come on,
What are you? Are you me?
What argue? Argue me?
You sound like a jerk. Why are you doing this?
Oh, you want to know? Because the answer's easy. I'm bad, Ash. And you're good, Ash. You're a goody little two-shoes.
Evil Dead 3, a.k.a. Army of Darkness, has a very odd look to it. So the combination of the effects, I think, will work pretty well. It's not, you have no realistic basis from which to judge it. the movie's in a weird world anyway, so if the effects look at all slightly different, it's okay.
Ramming speed!
Ready, aim,
You lousy little.
Movies are weird. You can either be very happy that you worked hard and you see it up on the screen and if something works, you can be satisfied for a long time. But if you just slough through it and sleepwalk your way through it, then you're tormented for the rest of your life. Because you'll always see that film, and it'll come back and haunt you horribly.
Who's with me? Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Good.
Hello!
Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
The eagerly awaited third chapter of the most celebrated cult classic of our time.
Say hello to the 21st century.
Army of Darkness.
Buckle up, bonehead. Because you're going for a ride.
Army of Darkness, getting its British TV premiere this Saturday at 10 o'clock on the Movie Channel.
This week's ghoulish Saturday night premiere. An unholy terror has been unleashed.
Thou hast doomed us all!
Now, he has to face the unimaginable.
Come to Papa.
The unthinkable. Army of Darkness.
I got a bone to pick with you!
A spine-tingling movie that'll really blow you away. Army of Darkness premieres Saturday at 10 on the Movie Channel.
Groovy.
Mankind with suffering. Only one man dared to challenge their power. Hercules. Hercules possessed a strength the world had never seen. A strength surpassed only by the power of his heart. He journeyed the earth, battling the minions of his wicked stepmother Hera, the all-powerful queen of the gods. But wherever there was evil, wherever an innocent would suffer, there would be Hercules.
Cut it right there.
The show has humor, it's got action, it's got special effects. There's so many things, there's so many facets to the show that I think will appeal to such a wide range of audience. I think once they watch it, they'll say, you know, it's a fun show.
With the heart of a champion,
I'm Hercules.
with the strength of a god, he will protect the innocent from demons and monsters.
You don't kill 10 monsters every day?
Only one or two.
Every week, a brand new adventure.
Shot on location in New Zealand, Hercules, the legendary journeys from executive producers Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert of the films Time Cop and Army of Darkness, explores tales of mythical proportion with action and the ultimate hero, Kevin Sorbo as Hercules.
Kevin is a big benefit to this production. His character has taken on this guy who's very trustworthy. What happens is by having a character like that, you like that guy, and because Kevin's sort of like that, the two blend together, and I think people watching the show will think that that's just the way he is. And the good news is he kind of is.
Set in a time before Greek or Roman civilization, this half-god, half-man embarks on heroic journeys battling the darkest evils and horrific monsters in his quest for adventure and justice.
He's definitely a person who believes that good is going to triumph over evil. And I think that's what makes the character attractive to me and attractive to maybe hopefully to a lot of people, because I think his morality and his sense of justice towards people, I think that's the main thing that really carries him over.
The son of a mortal woman and Zeus, the king of the gods, Hercules possesses amazing strength and power, unrivaled by any other and surpassed only by the power of his own compassion.
Ready, and action!
Those bug-eyed loons you just beat up caught me stealing food. Well, an escaped slave's gotta eat, doesn't she?
You're free now. I don't believe in slavery.
But just like that, I'm free?
Just like that.
Combining special effects such as 3D animation, digital compositing, and mechanical and makeup effects, Hercules, The Legendary Journeys brings excitement, effects, and the ultimate action hero Kevin Sorbo to the screen each week.
Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty.
I respect everything that he stands for as a person. He wants people not to be abused. He's for the underdog. And people are always fighting for the underdog, and people want the underdog to win.
He's a cool guy because he not only can get involved in action, but he's smart. He's a smart hero too.
It's fun. It's a good part of that alter ego and that fantasy life that we like to lead within ourselves. I get to bring that out and live it myself, which is great.
Damn you, Hera! You paid for this till the day I die!